Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today, let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, January the 5th, is National Missouri Day, National Spaghetti Day, and National Trivia Day. And if you knew the answer to that, give yourself 2 points. Also, Sunday, January the 5th, National Bird Day. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? National Keto Day, National Screenwriters Day, and National Whipped Cream Day. What do I do every year on Bird Day?
I have no idea.
Happy birthday to you.
Ugh.
Happy birthday to you. You don't think so?
Are you done?
Happy birthday.
Please.
All right, I'm done. Happy birthday. I'll sing the rest off the air. Coming up, we've got a guest, Elizabeth Hennessy. She's a PhD. She's the author of On the Backs of Tortoises, Darwin, the Galapagos, and the Fate of an Evolutionary Eden. That's on the way.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey recently came out, and it claims that a growing number of wives are bribing their husbands to do chores by offering them a little, extracurricular activity in the bedroom, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So my question is this, Heidi, what chores do I need to do? I got in trouble for actually doing chores. I did the dishes wrong.
Well, if you do them wrong.
I did the dishes wrong. I'm like, I will never do this again.
You had two things in the dishwasher and you ran the dishwasher. I'm like, that is such a waste. Wash the two things.
I'm going to use a spoon to mix some creamer in my coffee, and I'm going to wash the whole thing in the dishwasher.
Just wash the two things.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Did you know you can read these stories on their Facebook page now?
I did not.
It's kind of cool. You find that at Time4Rehab.com. An employee at Ferry Pass Middle School in Florida was arrested on several drug charges. Arrest report says 44-year-old Mary Catherine Sams Mundy was pulled over during a traffic stop. Says here they found numerous bags of what they believe to be narcotics on the floor. Court documents say the suspected narcotics tested positive for heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamines. There was also a backpack with about 20 unopened syringes, along with a silver plastic bag with a small amount of marijuana. The driver's license was also expired. She said that she did have an up-to-date license, but she didn't have it with her at the time. So anyway, she was placed on suspension with pay pending a sheriff's investigation. What? So she got paid during her suspension?
It's like a vacation.
Can I get one of those?
Paid
What do I need
vacation.
to do? Anyway, she was a middle school employee. It doesn't say what she did at the middle school. Chemistry teacher, maybe? I don't know.
Wow.
I have no idea. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. More details at Time4Rehab.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The women-driven dating app, Bumble. Have you ever heard of this?
I have heard of Bumble, yes.
Are you on Bumble? Is that what
No.
The way you said that, you were pretty, I've heard of Bumble.
I have heard of it.
She's my wife, by the way, so it's kind of concerning. The women-driven dating app Bumble says that they restored the account of actress Sharon Stone. Her account was blocked after the platform's moderators received several reports of a fake profile. Turns out, it's not a fake profile. The 62-year-old Stone, who is best known for her starring role in Basic Instinct back in 1992, got her account back up and running after she complained. She tweeted about it, actually. So it was her real Twitter account that complained. She's like, hey, they blocked me on this dating app. Can you imagine?
Why on earth would she need to be on a dating app?
I don't know that it's need to be. Like, maybe she wants to be. Like, she's going, I don't want to date another famous person who I can't stand. I want to date just a real person. I don't know. I have no idea. You'd think that she could just post on Twitter, want to go out, and she'd have plenty of people.
She would have hundreds and hundreds of people saying, sure, I'll be there at 7.
Yeah, I guarantee you, this is probably the most exposure this app has ever gotten.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I'd never heard of it before. I couldn't even read the story. So Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. According to a recent study, breastfeeding may lower the risk of stroke for mothers. So that's good news. So if you're expecting and deciding
I should
to
have
do that
breastfed.
There you go. A video of an American Airlines baggage handler has made its rounds. It was on Good Morning America, I think, is the clip that I have the link to here. I followed the link to check it out. There's a baggage handler that's dancing on the runway at the Nashville airport, and this went viral. There's been a lot of people that have seen this video, and it's really kind of cool. You can tell the dude's having fun.
That's awesome.
But then I have been on airplanes where I'm waiting going, okay, would you quit dancing and just load the bags?
Load the bags.
So I'm not sure what he was supposed to be doing, but maybe he had time that he was waiting for something, but it looked like he was having fun. I've got a link to that, by the way, in the show notes for today. A Florida woman was arrested after she squeezed her husband's, we'll just say, man parts, with so much force that he couldn't walk.
Whoa!
Police say the man showed obvious signs of trauma, but the woman still plans to plead not guilty. And as crazy as this sounds, they've gotten back together. What? What? Why? I don't understand some of this.
Fighting, or was she just,
I don't know.
aggressive?
I have no idea. A video of a bear, a big furry bear, trying to drag away a dumpster from a Colorado marijuana shop went viral. The bear dragged the dumpster about 10 feet before panicking and running off. Can you imagine? A lot of the customers to that place probably
Probably
sitting
thought
there
they
going,
were hallucinating.
wait a minute, did that really
I
happen?
am not buying any more of
Or
this.
did I just imagine that there was a bear in your dumpster?
Oh, that's funny.
But no, it really did happen. A video of a man riding a motorized scooter down a Dallas highway went viral. This, of course, by the way, is all kinds of illegal, so don't attempt this at home. But I do have a link to the video. Oh, by the way, we have a new, actually it's the same show notes, but the website is all changed. So now when you go to johnandheidishow.com, it's really easy to find the stories. Remember how it was before? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know. You've never been to our website.
No.
Have you ever been to our website?
Just trying to be nice. Yes, I do remember, and it looks so much better now.
Anyway, I did make it a lot easier to find the stories, and I've got a link to that one in the show notes. And one final story here. Just leave me alone, Heidi. A Nike sneaker from 1972 recently sold for $437,500 at a New York auction. It's called the Moon Shoe. It was designed for U.S. athletes before the 1972 Olympics. It features a red and white and blue accent that invokes the American flag on a Nike sneaker. They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't do that anymore.
They were going to, and then they said, no, we're not doing that anymore. And then some other shoes came out with those and have done well.
Only one shoe?
Well, it says a sneaker, but I think it's a pair. I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know what I didn't do? I didn't click the link. If you want to read the story, you can easily find it now at johnandheidishow.com.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Dr. Dr. Elizabeth Hennessy, and she's the author of On the Backs of Tortoises, Darwin, the Galapagos, and the Fate of an Evolutionary Eden. That's a long title and a very smart title. I'm super excited to chat with you today. This is a book that's kind of an important topic. There's a lot of stuff going on in this area, and it sounds like there are finally some people doing some things to help make it better, right?
Yeah, that's right. First, thanks for having me on, John, and I'm glad that you are excited about it because I also think it's an important topic. And yes, people have actually been working to conserve the Galapagos since the mid-1950s, and so it's a kind of long story of conservation. And there are certainly important things going on now today, too, because the tourism industry has grown with conservation efforts over the past 50, 60 years.
And up until the last 50 or 60 years, it was kind of like a lot of things that were being taken away from this area and ruining this beautiful paradise. But now there's been a really nice effort to rebuild this and try to get it back. How close to the right way is it now, and how far are we from getting it back to where it was, or will it ever get back to where it was?
Well, this is one of the arguments in the book, is that for a long time in the Galapagos, conservation efforts really focused on restoring the islands to what conservationists called this a kind of evolutionary Eden. That's how I refer to it in the book, and I call it that because it's associated with Darwin and his theory of evolution. Darwin once wrote that the Galapagos was the origin of all of his views, and so it gets wrapped up with this idea of like a biological origin story. And so conservationists, because there's no indigenous human population in the Galapagos, have wanted to restore the islands to how they were in 1534, which is the year before the Spanish first came ashore in the islands, and so the first recorded human history there. So they have tried to kind of erase or restore nature to how it was before all these histories of exploitation of the tortoises and other species there. What I argue in the book is that there's actually no return to that Eden. Right, that there is a lot of good going on with conservation, but the idea that we can return to the past is not the right way to focus.
And that's a sad thing. There is no rewind button in real life, is there?
No, of course, and we all know that.
It'll be a different version of what it was. We can never go back to what it was.
Sure, and there's a different version. There are people living in the Galapagos now, and those people are really important not only for conservation, but also for the local economy that's based on tourism that actually funds conservation efforts. And so those people have to be understood as a central part of the ecosystem. It doesn't mean that everything they do is beneficial. There have been lots of histories of invasive species, like goats and rats in particular, have been a big problem in Galapagos. And so conservationists are doing everything they can to manage those species while also caring for tortoises and the other endemic species in the islands.
Now, what was it that first got you interested in this topic to put the time and effort into making this book and kind of shine the light on what's going on there?
Well, Galapagos is a really fascinating place. I had the opportunity to go when I was just starting graduate school back in 2007, and I really fell in love with the place. It was so fascinating to me. The histories of Sarence and Darwin, it's kind of a very romanticized place for Westerners. And then I got there, and it was completely different than what you see on nature documentaries and kind of in the popular imagination. Like that nature of the pristine and all of the animals that you see does exist, but there's this other side of Galapagos that you don't see. That is the towns where people live and the actual work that goes into conservation, and that really was gripping to me.
They don't put that on the postcards, do they?
No, they don't. I mean, there's good reason for it, too. For instance, the eradication of goats is a really bloody campaign. Over the past 15 years, conservationists have killed more than 150,000 goats.
Wow.
Sometimes out of helicopters with semi-automatic rifles. They have taken GPS points of all the kills, so they have these kill maps that are really rather astounding. And that's not something that anyone wants to think about when they're on vacation.
No.
Right, when they go to see kind of wild nature. But protecting the tortoises, the goats particularly, are bad for the tortoises because they compete with them for vegetation, and these are really dry islands, so there's not a lot of vegetation in a lot of places. To try and protect the tortoises, to make sure their habitat is amenable for them, conservationists have launched these massive eradication campaigns, but we don't usually think about this side of conservation work.
Well, I've got a link to the book in our show notes. It's called On the Backs of Tortoises, Darwin, the Galapagos, and the Fate of an Evolutionary Eden. Elizabeth, thank you again for taking the time to visit with us.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Our guest today, Elizabeth Hennessy. She is the author of the book. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Want to make your sweetheart smile next month for Valentine's Day? Find some fun, matching shirts at funkymonkeyshirts.com. We have a whole collection of fun shirts for you lovebirds.
My wife rocks.
My man rocks.
We also have many silly shirts that will make you smile any day of the year.
My ex-wife was a trophy wife.
Participation trophy.
Find something fun for a loved one, friend, or for yourself at funkymonkeyshirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
4 people lived in a home for 6 months that was infested with about 2,000 brown recluse spiders, but none of them...
Oh, my gosh.
None of them were harmed. Well, the brown recluse is one of 3 spiders in North America that has venom that requires medical treatment. They hardly ever get aggressive. So I don't think that I would want to be one of the test subjects.
Absolutely.
How do you end up doing that?
Disgusting.
Answering a
I
ad?
wouldn't want to live in a home infested with 2,000 non-venomous spiders.
I wouldn't want to live in a home infested with 2 spiders.
No. That is horrible.
You probably have them, but I just...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this today's kind of weird fun fact.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, some news headlines from somewhere in this world. Dateline Australia. The Australian Border Force confiscated $1 million worth of liquid methamphetamines that were stored inside snow globes.
Oh, see, they just are getting more creative all the time.
Would have never, ever thought to look there. But somebody did, and they found $1 million worth of liquid methamphetamine. So I didn't even know you could make methamphetamines into a liquid. I don't know how that... I don't know what I thought it was. Do you smoke it? Is it a pill? Do you drink it? I have no clue. Because I've never tried it and I have no interest. So I guess if now I know there is a liquid methamphetamine because we just read it. From the news headlines from somewhere in this world.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. It's okay to cut loose at a wedding, but when you start biting someone's finger off, maybe you've gone a little too far. A bride and a groom and a best man were reportedly arrested after a disturbance at a wedding reception in Scotland that included somebody biting off a guest's finger. Claire and Iman Goodbrand spent their wedding night in prison. I think it was probably in jail, but says prison.
Yeah.
Scottish Sun reports the incident occurred at the VU at Ballaricif Toll in Bathgate. I don't know if I got any of that right. We'll just skip forward to the part that I can say. The best man, Kieran Goodbrand, was taken into custody. He reportedly suffered a head injury during the incident. According to the outlet, both men were still seen wearing their dress shoes under their prison uniforms Tuesday when they appeared in court. Neither man entered a plea. The trio was released on bail under certain conditions, including avoiding contact with certain family members. So I don't know whose finger it was, but yikes. Somebody bit off somebody else's finger. I'm like, Mom, I told you to quit pointing at me. I have no idea what happened. Bad plan. It's today's weird news. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. We've had so many of these, we could actually have a segment just for this. People freaking out at a fast food place.
I know, it's crazy.
So
we should get a sponsor and just have it
kidding.
just for that.
According to a felony battery complaint, incensed that his girlfriend brought the wrong food home from McDonald's, a Florida man struck the woman with sweet and sour sauce packets in the head and face area.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
So this wasn't actually toward a fast food worker this time, which I guess is maybe an upgrade, but it was still towards somebody. That's a downgrade. You don't do that. So Jesus Oscar Farrell Jr. attacked a woman who he has a child with in their home just outside of Tampa. The victim told the police that he became angry and began arguing with her over the wrong food being purchased. During the dispute, 30-year-old Furr allegedly began pelting the woman with plastic containers of sweet and sour dipping sauce. He is not sweet. He is very sour. He fled the motel but was subsequently arrested and booked into the jail on battery charges. So there you go. It's a bad thing. It's what happens, though, when your brain is on drugs. No, that's not right. That's a different segment altogether. This is today's Moment of Duh.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is this fake news made up just to trick you? Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. Fake news or Florida? An early New Year reveler was arrested for driving under the influence when Miami police pulled him over driving a stolen parade float covered in paper flowers. Fake news or Florida?
Well, I'm gonna say fake news.
It is fake news. What was it that tipped you off?
Well, it's not really parade season.
Okay, New Year's parade? It could be like a New Year's Eve parade.
But it's not New Year's Eve.
But it said an early New Year's reveler. So if they were getting it already,
yeah, I
you know, so
it just didn't make sense.
Wow. I worked hard on that one. I just want to know, everybody to know that was mine. I fell for it. I believed it was true by the time I was done typing. This has been Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I love this story. So here's a headline. An off-duty firefighter,
Okay.
keep in mind he was off duty, he was not working at the time, spotted an elderly woman struggling, and he carried her all the way up the stairs. So they were at like a concert place here, and she was struggling at a stadium on the stairs. So this off-duty firefighter carried her to her seat, and then he also carried her out of the stadium after the show. How cool is that?
Wow.
It says
What a
here,
nice guy.
Shayla and Thomas Harwell were attending a Houston livestock show and rodeo when they noticed an older woman having trouble to get to her seat. Thomas helped the woman down the stairs and to her seat, but he and his wife kept an eye on the family until the show ended. They knew the woman would need to come back up the stairs in order to exit the stadium. He said, I helped her down the stairs. I wasn't going to leave until somebody, probably me, helped her back up the stairs. And Shayla, the wife, snapped the photo of her husband, her hero, carrying this sweet young lady out to her car, or at least out to a level area.
Sweet. What a chivalrous gentleman.
Yeah, it's really cool. He's been in the volunteer fire department there for 15 years. He says, I'm a senior captain in the fire department. My job is to help people, so I helped her. So
that's right. That's amazing.
It's
Love
really
it.
cool. You can tell that the lady really appreciated it, too. I think it's an awesome story, and I've got a link to it in the show notes for today, which are now even easier to find at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.